friend, I hope this finds you well. Christ is risen. And today is another unceasing praise. And we're going to talk about sponsors in the Orthodox Church. So if you don't know, out of the 7 sacraments or mysteries that we have in the Orthodox Church, 2 of them usually have a form of sponsor that goes along with that sacrament. I'm lumping together baptism and chrismation, by the way. So I guess it's really 3 sacraments instead of 2. The most obvious that everybody knows is, Godparents, like the Godfather. I want to make you an offer you can't refuse. Or the Godmother. Usually she's a fairy for some reason, I'm not sure why. In Greek, the Godmother is called Nonna and the Godfather is called Nono. So that's some Greek learning lessons for you for today. Ha ha ha. But also for a marriage, there's usually also another sponsor. I don't know a fancy name for the sponsor for the marriage service in English, but in Greek, they're called the kumbari if you have 2 of them. The kumbaro if it's a male and the kumbara if it's a female. These people can be your maid of honor or your best man, but they don't have to be. Regardless of baptism or marriage, if you're an Orthodox sponsor, there are 2 requirements that you have to have. You have to be an Orthodox Christian and you have to physically be present at the service the day of. So those are the bare minimum requirements for being a sponsor. So besides the requirements, the main function of the sponsor is to be a support in helping that person going into that sacrament to grow in their faith, to have someone supporting them in their faith, in their walk with Christ in that journey. So because of the functionality of what a sponsor is, it's good to have these 2 additional recommendations when you're looking for someone to be your sponsor. And those 2 recommendations are, 1, that they're not only an Orthodox Christian, but within the life and community and sacraments of the church, that they're, working out their own salvation. So someone actively participating in the church. And the other thing that's helpful, someone that you have a relationship with or that you're willing to put in the effort to build that relationship with in the future. It's not really like a once and done kind of deal. It kind of is like you're bringing this person also into your family. So someone who's focused on their faith, but also someone that you know. This is also why a lot of Orthodox Christians will go with people that's already in their family, which is fine, but you can also do other friends and family that are not related to you and, grow out your God family that way. My main role when I'm being asked to be either a kumbara or a godmother is to pray for the person who's entering that sacrament. That is my number 1 priority. And then, the other stuff kind of flows from that. So the day of, for kumbari sense, is also, if I can afford it, to get crowns for the couple and candles for the couple. Those are my 2 main big things that kumbari are usually contributing to the service for a marriage. And kumbari will also be a part of that marriage dance. And then after that, it's usually just, remembering their anniversary and, keeping in contact as we all try to do when building relationships. In some traditions, the kumbari will then be the godparents of the firstborn child of that couple. Though practically speaking, in the globalized world that we live in, that's not always practical or possible. But just so you know, that is a side tradition that sometimes happens. The baptism, chrismation kind of side is a bit more involved because you are becoming the godparent of that child. So again, number 1 priority is still prayer, praying for the godchild. Day of responsibilities for godparents for baptism and or chrismation. Again, you're getting candles just like you would for a marriage. So always getting candles. You're also, as you can afford it, getting a cross for the person. You're getting them a baptismal outfit and a white towel, bringing the priest organic soaps. And then if it's a baby too, sometimes depending on the tradition, you can bring a small plastic bag to save the hair that gets punctured. Again, this is as you can afford it. The godparents are also usually responsible for the favors and also too sometimes helping the parents with the meal afterwards and coordinating the invites and stuff like that, because they're much more involved in this sacrament, like parallel to the parents, almost like the same kind of responsibility for the child. So everyone's getting involved. They're usually like I said the ones getting the candle and the cross at the bare minimum, as you can afford it. And just like also in the marriage service, the dance around the table 3 times, the godparent is a part of that dance. The newly illumined child of God will have communion that day as part of the baptismal service, whether you're incorporating it inside of a liturgy or not. But there's also a tradition that as the godparent is able, for the first 3 times that the godchild receives communion, the godparent will be with the godchild. Again, that can be difficult with travel and stuff like that. Thankfully, you get 1 out of the way in the baptismal service to start with, so just 2 more after that. And also just for the newly baptized, their first 3 communions, they get to go first. So after the sacrament of the baptism and chrismation, and after those first 3 partaking of the Eucharist, the other responsibilities that the godparent has can vary, but usually it's remembering the child's birthday, the child's name day, and if you have records or good memory of it too, the day that the child was baptized and or the adult was chrismated. So remembering them, either giving them a call, sending a card, giving a gift as you're able. And then after that, it kind of just depends person to person how they interact with their godchild. Whether, distance, makes a difference. How close or far you are, your means of what you're able to do, like going on trips together or having them over your house. You want to just remember them and their family as part of your family now too. That's the biggest thing. But even on top of all that, the top priority for any sponsor, whether in the marriage service or for baptism and chrismation, the job of the sponsors is to pray for that person or the couple, as the case of the marriage, and try to be supportive in their growth in the church, in the faith, as much as possible. And none of us do it perfectly, just like any parents, I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but you raise your kids as best you can. As a godparent, you be a godparent the best you can. As a kumbari, you be a kumbara the best you can. So yeah, in my head, like, godparents are more like kind of parents to the person they're sponsoring, and then kumbara or kumbara is more like a really good friend spiritually. I'm not sure if kumbara at your wedding is required. I know that it's required to enter into the church through chrismation to have at least a godmother or a godfather. You don't have to have both. Obviously, it's great if you can to have godparents, double set. Same with kumbara or kumbaro. You don't have to have both either that way. And in both sets, if you have to, they don't have to be married. They can be 2 single people or 1 single person and a married person, or they could be both married. But anyway, that's just a little bit on the tradition of Orthodox sponsors. So if you're looking for one, or if you're being asked to be one, it's a beautiful gift and its own burden to be asked. So just make sure you have good communication regardless. Pray about it, talk to the person, talk to your family, talk to the parish priest, and just, be supportive. I also want to say thank you for everybody who's leaving comments down below. I really appreciate reading through them and seeing them. It's great having you guys there. I do have an Instagram page that I've had for a while that I just made public this week. It's not really meant for this channel, but if you got this far and are still watching this video, I guess you can find me if you want. It's not like super amazing content, but I'll try to put a few behind the scenes things about this channel there. So you can follow me on Instagram at Rumi_watch. But like I said, it's only halfsies about this channel since I made that before I made this channel, and I'm pretty much envisioning this channel just being a 1-year encapsulated kind of vloggy thing. So I've only got 4 more months to go. The end of August will be my last video, so I appreciate all you people who are with me as I post these live and in real time. And for anyone who comes across these after that has all been over, welcome to the archives. So yeah, if that ever happens, but I'll leave them up after I finish anyway. The extra this week is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, if I can get it done, I have a little game to play with you guys. So I'm excited for that. And I think that's about it. Anyway, I'm Anastasia. It's been nice to see you. And hopefully this did not confuse you about Orthodox sponsors, but if you have any of your own traditions or better ways of explaining what I was trying to say, please put them down in the description below so other people can learn. Or if you have like a good article or like video that you know of, sharing is caring, friends. So thank you for being a sharer of good things. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Christ is risen again, and I'll see you all later. Bye. Given the functionality of the sponsors, it's helpful to have these two additional. I can't say additional. My stomach's making noises. Okay. Blah. But it's the same kind of thing for baptism or chrismation. The newly illumined servant, I'm lumping them together. Ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna have to jump around with all this information that I'm spieling to you. I also wanted to say some other things. Oh, yeah, I don't know how long this is going, and I'm gonna have to edit a lot, just like normal when I don't prepare well for these things. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye!